The Odyssey is an epic poem written by the ancient Greek poet Homer. It is considered one of the greatest works of literature in Western civilization and serves as a sequel to Homer's earlier work, the Iliad. The Odyssey recounts the 10-year journey of Odysseus, a hero of the Trojan War, as he strives to return home to Ithaca and reunite with his wife, Penelope, and son, Telemachus. The poem begins with an invocation to the muse, asking for inspiration in telling the story of Odysseus. It then introduces the situation in Ithaca, where Odysseus has been absent for 20 years. During his absence, suitors have invaded his palace, believing him to be dead, and are vying for Penelope's hand in marriage, while also consuming the resources of the kingdom. The narrative then shifts to Odysseus, who has been held captive by the nymph Calypso on her island of Ogygia. The gods intervene and send the messenger god Hermes to demand Odysseus' release. Calypso reluctantly agrees, and Odysseus builds a raft to leave the island. However, Poseidon, the god of the sea, discovers Odysseus and sends a storm to destroy his raft. Odysseus survives the storm and washes ashore on the island of Scheria, home to the Phaeacians. There, he is discovered by Nausicaa, the daughter of the king, who provides him with hospitality and arranges for his safe return to Ithaca. During his stay, Odysseus recounts his adventures, starting with his departure from Troy. He tells of his encounters with the Lotus Eaters, a group of people who live on a diet of lotus flowers that induce forgetfulness. Odysseus and his men are lured by the lotus flowers but are eventually rescued by Odysseus, who forces them back to the ship. They then arrive on the island of the Cyclopes, a race of one-eyed giants. Odysseus and his men become trapped in the cave of Polyphemus, a cyclops, who begins devouring them one by one. Through wit and deception, Odysseus blinds Polyphemus and manages to escape with his surviving men. The journey continues with encounters with the sorceress Circe, who turns Odysseus' men into pigs but later transforms them back. Odysseus remains with Circe for a year before his men convince him to resume their journey. Circe provides advice on how to navigate the dangers they will face, including passing by the sirens, who lure sailors to their deaths with their enchanting songs, and avoiding the deadly whirlpool Charybdis and the monster Scylla. After successfully navigating these obstacles, Odysseus and his men arrive at the island of Thrinacia, where the sun god Helios keeps his cattle. Despite being warned not to harm the cattle, hunger and curiosity lead Odysseus' men to slaughter and eat the sacred animals. This act angers Helios, and as punishment, he causes a shipwreck that kills all of Odysseus' men. Odysseus survives the shipwreck and finds himself stranded on the island of Ogygia with Calypso. After leaving her island, he continues his journey and arrives at the island of the Phaeacians, where he tells his tale. The Phaeacians agree to help him return home by providing him with a ship and supplies. Finally, Odysseus arrives in Ithaca disguised as a beggar by the goddess Athena, who has been watching over him throughout his